Hello everybody, my name's John, a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest video recipe. In this week's video I'll show you how to make these truly delicious potato cakes using just a few simple ingredients. They're easy to prepare, full of flavour and perfect for any time of the day. Best of all, there's plenty of scope to make them your own by adding a few extra ingredients of your choice. And I'll suggest a few more ideas that you may like a little later in the video. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website, and the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video. Right, let's get on with today's recipe. Okay, I'll start by prepping and cooking the potatoes. And for this recipe I'm using these British Redskins. What I like about these is the wonderful yellow flesh, creamy texture and earthy taste. Perfect for mash. And this is also a great recipe for using up any leftover mash. Once peeled, cut them into approximately 40 cm or 1.5 inch chunks. Now get them into a pan and give them a quick rinse and enough water to just cover them. Right, get them onto the heat and add a half teaspoon of salt to the water. Once they start boiling, get the lid on, turn the heat low and set your timer for 20 minutes. And while they're boiling, you can prepare the spring onions and in my case a small bunch of chives. But you can add whatever veg, herbs and spices that you like finely chopped shallots or leek, spinach or garlic. For the spices, paprika, chili powder. For herbs, you can use parsley, dill, rosemary, coriander. There's loads you can experiment with in this recipe. Right, back to the potatoes. Once the time's up, test that they're done by using a fork. It should pierce the potatoes easily. Carefully carry the pan over to your sink and tip the potatoes into a colander. Leave them a minute in the colander to make sure they're completely drained. Once drained, get them back into the pan so we can get them mashed. First to go in is the milk. Now I've heated it up for a few seconds in the microwave. And now you can add the butter. And so I don't have to change the amount of salt that actually goes in the recipe, I'm using unsalted butter. Okay, now give that a quick mash to incorporate everything. And now for the seasoning, I like to use white pepper in these potato cakes, but freshly ground black pepper is okay too. And of course you will need salt. And if you're not sure how much salt to add for your taste, just add a little at a time and give it a quick taste now and then until you reach the point that's right for you. Back in with the masher until it's nice and creamy. And that's the mash done. Quick taste for seasoning. And that's perfect. Now let it cool for a few minutes. Right, let's put it all together. Start by transferring the mash into a large bowl. And if you're enjoying the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, guys. And make sure you get it all out of that pan. There's no waste on this channel. And first to go in is the finely chopped spring onions. Next to go in is the finely cut chives. Now before you say, I know they're a milder version of the onions, but I like to see the darker green flecks of colour throughout these potato cakes. But like I said earlier, there's a multitude of veg, herbs and spices you can use in these cakes. But also be aware that you don't want to overpower the flavour of the star of this recipe, which is the potato. The clue's in the name. Next to go in is the flour. In this recipe, the flour is classed as a binder in these potato cakes, and flour is normally added to these mashed potato recipes to provide structure and stability, holding all the ingredients together. Without a binder, these cakes would literally fall apart in the pan. Now beaten egg would also make a decent binder, but the flour is better for a more rigid structure. And you'll also have the problem of the egg flavour overpowering the flavour of the potato. Once you have it roughly mixed in a bowl, tip it out onto your bench and give it a quick knead with your hands. This will make sure you have a good mix and consistency. Right, once you're happy with it, gather it all together with your dough scraper and get it onto your scales. Now mine comes to 932 grams, that's around 32 ounces. And that divided by 8 is my perfect size for these potato cakes. And if you want smaller ones, just divide it by 10 or 12. And I'll quickly show you how to do one. Once you have it weighed off, simply form it into a ball with your hands. And if you don't have scales, just eyeball them best you can. And as you can see, they don't have to be perfect spheres because we will be forming them into patties in a moment. And that's all 8 completed. On to forming the patties. Sprinkle a little flour on your bench. Now add a little to the potato ball. Now all you have to do is to gently press it into a patty shape. And because of the flour in the recipe, these are quite easy to handle and shape. Once shaped, get them onto a very lightly oiled plate. And there you go, 1 down, 7 to go. And here's the last one. Right, that's all 8 done and ready to fry. And if you want, you can actually freeze them at this point too. Okay, for frying these, I think I'll take my titanium pan out for a run. I would normally use my 12-inch cast iron Lodge frying pan for these, but I'm interested to know how this one performs with these potato cakes. First get the pan hot, then add 100 ml of your favourite cooking oil. I'm being a bit extravagant today and using olive oil for mine. Once hot, around 150 Celsius, that's 300 Fahrenheit, add the cakes to the pan. Now give them a little shake. No stickage, that's a very good start. Now these will probably take around 5 to 7 minutes on each side. Keep checking and flipping one until you reach a nice golden brown colour. That one's looking pretty good, so it's safe to flip the others. And before you say in the comments, it is safe to use metal utensils in this pan. And I'd also like to say I am not being sponsored by anyone in this video. And these are looking fantastic. Time to get them out and onto a kitchen paper lined plate. And they took around 15 minutes to cook, which is about right for these. Okay, I'll let the paper soak up some of that oil for 5 minutes, and when I come back we'll have a taste. In the meantime, here's a great deal on my 5 cookbook plug. And if you've been enjoying the recipes here on the channel, why not treat yourself to my 5 recipe books. Each one is packed with many of the dishes you've seen on YouTube, and they include helpful tips and handy QR codes that take you straight to the full video. And we have a very special deal on at the moment. Buy our 5-pack of books on our website only, and the bread book 4 is included absolutely free, saving you a massive £11. So get your order in while the deal lasts. Right, time for a taste, and I've been looking forward to this. Now I'm simply tasting one of these on its own, but obviously you would serve these with a meal. For instance, my wife absolutely loves these with streaky bacon, scrambled eggs and mushrooms. And here we go. And that really is so good. The best way I can describe it is a light crispy coat with a buttery creamy mashed potato taste with the mild sweet flavour of the spring onions and chives. And that white pepper kick at the end. They really are quite delicious. And unbelievably easy to make. And I promise you, these will get a massive thumbs up from your family and your friends, guaranteed. And as promised earlier in the video, here is the latest name splash and shout out list, including YouTube's brand new loyalty membership supporters. And they are Jens K3250, Carolyn M 2943, Old Bobby Aspain, and finally Ozzy Nog. And there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks very much guys, I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.